Historic Bigfoot Encounters Washington Edition. I deeply apologize for the delay in the next publication of my research. University got in the way, then I took some time away from the computer screen. I'm in my final year of legal studies now, can't wait for this to all be over. It seems like I've lost some of my research during the transition between two laptops. I will be posting my research concerning Florida and Arkansas next. Anyway, I am thrilled to present the Washington edition of my research. I was surprised by how few articles I could unearth, seeing as Washington is the Bigfoot capital of the U.S. I did research into the population statistics during the period of time these articles were written, and Washington had a negligible population up until around the 1950s. So there being fewer reports of encounters is not surprising. Perhaps I will return to researching encounters in Washington state at a later date if I can find any further encounters. The Seattle Star Volume Seattle, Wash 1899-1947, July 3, 1914, page 5, image 5, chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. This article details encounters with Bughouse Busco, whose story and name seem eerily familiar to me. A hairy wildman terrorizing a university in Washington. I swear I've heard about him before, perhaps it was revealed to me in a dream. Described as being covered in matted hair and had yellow tusks. He attacked a laborer and killed his dog. Come on, why do they always have to kill the bloody dog? Was later seen swimming and catching fish, and was associated with unearthly shrieks and yells. Large footprints were found in the cooling asphalt across the campus. Some journalists and students believe this story was fabricated by men attending the university to scare the female students. Nonetheless, it sounds like a Sasquatch to me. Anyone have any further information about it? Was it ever debunked? The Evening Statesman Volume Walla Walla, Wash 1903-1910, February 12, 1906, page 4, image 4, chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. An article reporting a hunter encountering a wildman in a cave on Vancouver Island. The wildman is described as being covered in hair many inches in length and was of an immense size. He mumbled in unintelligible words to himself, but someone apparently recognized French. All right then. The Evening Statesman Volume Walla Walla, Wash 1903-1910, July 8, 1904, image 6, chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. A repeat publication of Mike King encountering Sasquatch in British Columbia in 1904. The being is described as large, angular, completely covered in hair, shining eyes, and had long arms hanging loosely with his hands reaching below his knees. The quintessential Bigfoot description. The Evening Statesman Volume Walla Walla, Wash 1903-1910, December 16, 1904, page 6, image 6, chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. Another account of the Vancouver Island wildman. The Spokane Press Volume Spokane, Wash 1902-1939, November 9, 1908, page 5, image 5, chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. An article reporting an encounter of a wild man in the Santa Monica Mountains. Reportedly broke into a railway construction company's storehouse and stole food. Was described as a being in the fashion of a man, transitioned between bipedalism and quadrupedalism, was covered in long brown hair, had a face covered in hair, and left large footprints. Article includes a picture of supposed footprints made by the creature, but I've asked around and experts believe it to be the footprints of a bear. The description of the creature could be that of a bear too, depending on whether the witnesses are adamant about the creature resembling a human rather than a bear. So, either the witnesses were describing encountering a bear, or witnesses encountered a Bigfoot and mistook footprints left by a bear for that of the creature they previously encountered. Who knows, wish I could interview them. It is important to note that the footprints are not associated with an encounter with the creature, but rather that laborers working for the company found them at a lake and assumed that they were left by the creature they previously encountered. Really gives the noggin a joggin'. The Tacoma Times Volume Tacoma, Wash 1903-1949, February 26, 1916. Image 1, Chronicling America. Library of Congress LocGov. This article reports the hunt for a wild man. Described as dark-complexioned, short, wears a black suit, and runs like a deer. I've included this because I've heard the description of a black suit multiple times from separate newspapers reporting the sighting of a wildman. Modern encounters with Bigfoot frequently describe them looking like a man dressed in all black. Think about that famous 911 call. Was also reported to be tree-peeking at children drawing water from a well, and could cover large distances in one day. The Seattle Star Volume Seattle, Wash 1899-1947, April 10, 1913, Image 1. Chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. This article describes local law enforcement chasing a wild man over 28 miles through the snow and woods. He reportedly waved his arms and uttered strange cries. The Seattle Star Volume Seattle, Wash 1899-1947, November 8, 1922, page 7, image 7, Chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. An article in a Washington newspaper reporting on a wild man seen in the deserts of Colorado. This creature is described as huge, gaunt, hairy, and has shining beastly eyes. He subsists on stolen chickens, pigs, and wildfowl. Employees of the Standard Chemical Company followed his tracks in hope of capturing him, which were described as left by moccasins or hair-covered feet. Entirely analogous descriptions to modern sightings. The consistency in accounts is very powerful evidence. The Seattle Republican Volume Seattle, Wash 1? 1915. March 12, 1909, page 4, image 4, Chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. A very short article reporting the sighting of an ape in the forest of York County community. The Evening Statesman Volume Walla Walla, Wash 1903-1910, December 7, 1907, image 1, Chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. An article reporting that a wildman, described as strong and ferocious as any beast, terrorizing small towns along the Monte Cristo branch of the Northern Pacific, reportedly roams the wilds and forests of the Northwest. The Seattle Star Volume Seattle, Wash 1899-1947, April 3, 1913, page 3, image 3, Chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. An article reporting the sighting of a wildman encountered in Santee. Described as 6 feet tall, strong as an ox, covered from head to foot in hair as thick and long as that of some giant gorilla. That description always sets off alarm bells for me. The Seattle Star Volume Seattle, Wash 1899-1947, July 21, 1924, page 7, image 7, Chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. An article calling the Ape Canyon encounter a hoax. Do you believe Ape Canyon to be a hoax? I'm on the fence. Seattle Daily Post Intelligencer Volume Seattle, W.T. Wash 1881-1888, July 31, 1883, image 3. Chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. This article reports hunters being attacked by a wild man on Prenti Island. The creature is described as 8 feet tall and covered with hair. The Tacoma Times Volume Tacoma, Wash 1903-1949, October 16, 1941, page 15, image 15, Chronicling America, Library of Congress LocGov. Read this. An article reporting one Mrs. George Chapman encountering a giant near her farmstead, described as being 10 feet tall and covered in shaggy brown hair, reportedly left huge tracks in the ground after fleeing. The article also describes the beliefs of Native Americans tribes local to the area, who purport that a small tribe of hairy giants that they call Sasquatch inhabit the country of North Desroches and Harrison Lake not far from the Washington border. The Native Americans report that the creatures bombard them with stones as they pass by them in canoes. There are other recent reports of sightings from Seabird Island and Chechalis. A truly remarkable snapshot into the history of the consistency of encounters long before Bigfoot became an element of popular culture. Post from user Smoldius at Bigfoot at Reddit.